All right, baby. Happy Tuesday. Namaste, guys. God bless. How are all of you? What's up, man? How are you guys? I got pictures today, man. That's going to make sense, believe me, when I tell you guys. So happy Tuesday. Let me get my shit together and get all this stuff ready for you guys, because hot off the presses of last night's show with Kurt for America's Newscape, I'll upload that later. And this guy's brilliant, man. Maybe this will help you guys. What he does, he's a behind the scenes kind of guy. He gives the interview to me. I'm the one that's live on the screen. You get to see my pretty face on there on the West Coast. But what he does is absolutely brilliant. It's something that you guys can perhaps do for your own businesses or whatever you want to do. He just gives me a word. The past couple weeks have worked out perfectly on this, but he just gives me the top trending word of the day. He says, "Jared, create." And I'm like, okay. Last week it was tornadoes, because there was an outbreak, I guess, and I had mentioned that last week on America's Mentor. There was an outbreak of tornadoes. What he does is I create the metaphor using tornadoes in our own life experiences, not the physical thing, but the metaphysical thing. And his views shot up thousands of people because he hashtagged it. And people naturally clicked on it and got to see this little guy, which was me. And it really jacked the program double. And what he did yesterday before we came on, he goes, "Jer," he sent me a text. He goes, "Hurricanes." I was like, oh, here we go. But it's brilliant, because I'm going to explain to you guys how that name is basically us. And this little figure, this little guy right here, the one that I was playing with in the beginning, that's the center of the so-called storm, the low pressure system. That's us, energy. And I'm going to define, not hurricane, because it's so boring. It says gusty winds, blah, blah, blah. But what is a hurricane? It's natural. It's a natural part of nature. What are we? A natural part of nature. So natural is being in accordance with or determined by nature, with synonyms of built-in, kind of sounds like us, hardwired, kind of sounds like us, intrinsic, and inborn. And in essence, it's called a gift. We have that gift, that center, that mind's eye, as I call it. That's why I call it the eye of the storm. That's where all the energy is. But the energy has to go somewhere. And this is us every single day. And the next word not in there, obviously, is phenomenon. From that natural beingness of this little guy right here, of that energy source, that center, that who we are, we create a phenomenon. It's called life. It's called experiences. Phenomenon is a fact or event of scientific interest susceptible to scientific description and explanation. Hence, us, we, our thoughts, who we are as people, guys, with synonyms of marvel, miracle, and wonder. What do we create every day? Marvel, miracles, and wonders of our life. Or, as I always state on America's Mentor, people get so angry they create their own storms. Not this, but you gotta flip that shit and get pissed off when it rains. This is a perfect explanation of a hurricane of our life. That low pressure system, that energy source, which we are, has to have somewhere to go. I mean, this energy that we give out every single day with our thoughts and our feelings has to go somewhere. So what does it do? It does that. It takes a little mind's eye and then branches out in bands. They're called storm bands or energy bands. And what do those energy bands do? They connect and they create the natural phenomenon that we are every single day. But there's a big but behind that. Man, I don't have a big but. But there's a big but behind creating that hurricane of life. What are you putting in the center? You got to ask yourself this question. I do every day, because I know that from branching out of that low pressure or that energy source, that mind's eye, that who we are every single day, we're going to create an amazing phenomenon from that, because it's a natural part of nature, the natural laws of nature. And this is what Scripture has been telling us, sages, for thousands and thousands of years. They're saying, look out, meatball, you're an energy source, you're a power source. What is a hurricane? It's its own weather system. We are our own system of activation that we choose what we're sending out every single day. It's a great It's a great metaphor to live by, because if you're trying to create something, focus on what's going on in here, meatball. Focus on what you're thinking about every day. Focus on the energy you're sending out to create those bands every day. And here's a great story. It actually pertains to Kurt, and I'll let you guys enjoy your Tuesday, because I'll upload the video when I get it later on today. But imagine here I am in this 12 by 12 for a decade, literally a decade. All my writing in columns and on media was all done before that 10-year demise. So what did I do? After a couple, 3 years of getting over the fact that I was in a 12 by 12, I started to reevaluate my life, hence creating a new mind's eye about myself. I had already been dealing with Kurt way before that demise of 10 years. But then all of a sudden, I didn't hear from him for 10 years. What did I put in the mind's eye? A book, a writing, quotes, Facebook Live. What did I do from that? Creating a storm around me of energy to attract to me, guess what? That guy who came back 10 years later. I got a phone call like a year and a half ago. Said, Jerry, I got an idea for a show. Do you see how life works? Whatever you're putting in that mind's eye, that thought pattern, that natural being in accordance with or determined by nature, whatever you're putting in there, guys, this is the beauty of life. It's going to create a natural phenomenon in your life, hence a miracle. Whether it's health, wealth, love, success, achievement, whatever it is, think of yourself as a friggin' hurricane, man, of life. A natural phenomenon that is hardwired to create any miracle that you want in life, but you have to keep doing it. I mean, they got storms now over the Atlantic that are forming. They don't jack off it in Africa and pop over here. They got to grow. They got to seed themselves with more water, energy, moisture, energy that pushes them forward as their own system. We're the same way. We're the natural phenomenon of life. But the beauty is we are hardwired to create this natural form phenomenon of life, hence a miracle that we are every single day. So hopefully this helps, guys. I'm going to jack out that video later on. Just think of yourself as this, man, as the energy source. You're the source of everything, whether it's good and or bad, every single day. You have a choice either to enhance that good or enhance where you've been, enhance where you want to go, create the natural hardwired, how should we say, mechanism that we are. It's called quantum mechanics. And if you start using that in the right way, connecting to the right areas of life that you want to go, you can only send out these streams of energy that are going to connect with where you want to go. So think about it for yourself, guys. America's Mentor _ radio. At America's Mentor on Twitter. At America's Mentor on YouTube, like I said before, and repeatedly will say again, Kurt, you are brilliant. I will upload that later on, and we're going to hashtag hurricane and really explain in the simplest metaphor that we're the same thing. We are virtually, basically the same kind of source of how it is created and how we create. So think about it for yourself, guys. Have an amazing Tuesday, guys. I will see you guys soon, man.